Hey, welcome everybody. That dude is Marco. I'm Driggs. We are wallowing in the sticks.
Good evening, Barrister. I'm delighted to be here with you, wallowing with our grand community. As we wallow, let's get into some game action.
Yes, I've been looking forward to talking about this tonight for a couple reasons. One, it's Sunday. We're going to recap how we did over the whole week. And two, we're going to look at some of the key trends or developments, just the way that the games played out. So today we were 4-3 on our selections, and close with some of the losses. But the thing I'm most proud of is having faded both Gray and Lynn, and the Gray play is the one that came in. Haney is, you just he just is not a good pitcher. There's
Yeah,
enough.
I look bad on that one because I'm always talking him up, and I just want him to be better than he is. And you've been telling me that for 3 years now.
And I think we can draw the conclusion that he is simply just below average. When you put all the factors together, and when he goes up against a guy who is pitching in top of the line form, you just have to rely on Haney's results now. So that's noted and learned. But the Angels are also a team that can go into Texas and get swept. That's what they are as well. So a lot of things processed there. But I want to apologize to all the viewers because to the VIP list, I sent out the plays today that had us at 4-3. But look, I'm new to putting together plays. I'm new to putting together the email, the time pressures, the crunch. I'm getting used to it, and I like it a lot. But today I had a play on Detroit. I really had some good analysis on Turnbull, and I certainly bet that game and was real excited about it coming in. I was feeling good for the people who are tailing us, if they are. And then I realized when I went back and reviewed the email that I had somehow deleted that write-up. And as you know, you copy and paste, move things around. You want things that I had somehow deleted it and didn't put it back in there. So on the one hand, I apologize that I didn't get the Detroit play out because it was a winner. But on the other hand, at least nobody else had to sweat out a Detroit late inning win. So I saved you that misery.
Well,
So,
I mean, I could have used that because I have to go to the hippie store on the weekend, and that sends me back $300 or $400. So I could have used that, Detroit, but I'll live. I'll live.
So good. So Marco, from your perspective, did anything stand out this day, in today's action to you?
Well, I have a mini polemics that I want to do that's related to today, but I guess what stood out to me a little bit was this Eddie Alvarez. All of a sudden, he gets 3 hits. He hasn't gotten a hit. He really hasn't even picked up a bat since he's 28. He's a professional ice skater.
Yeah.
And he gets a hit against DeGrom, who's the best pitcher in the league.
Right.
So that stood out to me.
Did you see him run? It was really the first time I got to see him run, and the arms kind of go like.
Yeah, he does it. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was such a physical show, but that was wonderful what you did there. Let me just go right into my polemics, which stood out to me.
That's great. Go into the polemics.
The flyer that we took stood out to me,
Mm-hmm.
that I picked, and that was a good one. I made a few bucks on that. But I'm watching this O's game. I'm a big O's fan. They're in Washington, and they have some good innings, and all of a sudden they're hitting homers, and they're up 5-3. And Washington's at home. It's the bottom of the 6th, and it's one of these just crazy, unpredictable, just thunderclouds that's just over D.C. because it was perfectly sunny. Because I could tell you, I was sweating mowing the lawn and almost dying of another heart attack, and it just poured right on that stadium. And I'm like, woo, there's a big W for the O's. That's fun. They're going to be 8-7. And, it's the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-3. And I guess Manfred was on the horn, and he pulled like Rule 702A, A, B, C, D, dash something out of his ass and said that that the game has to be suspended and start from there if there's mechanical problems. Now, I know Strasburg didn't look good, and I know he had mechanical problems, but we're not calling the game because of Strasburg's mechanics. I mean, you just don't do that in baseball. That's part of the game. You get your mechanics under control. You're making $100 million a year. But then I come to find out that it was the tarps. There were mechanical problems with the tarps. And I'm looking out there. I'm looking for the robots. I'm looking for something that's got gears and like a retractable roof. It's just fat dudes and a couple of tomboy chicks pushing it. There's no mechanics involved. It's galvanized rubber. How could you have a mechanical problem when there's no engine oil or grease or smoke? It's just people pushing galvanized rubber. I mean, I would like to get the tape on it because I'm sure a guy pulled out a pocket knife and put a little hole in it right where third base was, so they could give give Washington a little break. So I'm annoyed that they could pull this out. Nobody even heard of this rule. The Orioles should have that W. They're trying to move the season along. You know, I tell you, I get excited, but sometimes I also get worked up. So you're seeing me a little bit worked up. I mean, if something's going to be called for mechanical problems, how about some of these games in Houston last year when they're smashing the trash can? I mean, those nights it sounded like a lorry was coming out of a diamond mine, kicking out diesel fuel and clinking and clacking. Nobody called any of those games. This is my mini polemics. Sometimes I get angry, Mike. All right.
Those are irrational feelings, and my only response to any of that is, why are some games at the end of 5 called complete games and done, but some games are suspended to be resumed? Obviously, if you were wagering on that, your wager is complete, and if you have Baltimore, it's a win, and if you have Washington, it's a loss. The suspension doesn't affect you one way or another, but that game will be resumed Friday, August 14th as part of a...
There's plenty of time to just resume games that are already won. All right, let's move on, man. We're flying here.
Oh, we need to backtrack first back to...
we need to do some more game action, right?
Yeah. So looking at the way this weekend wrapped up, Miami started to move in regressive fashion. Atlanta and Philadelphia are interesting. Toronto is our Jays, man. I guess they go home to Buffalo. Kansas City sweeps Minnesota, and man, I really liked our play on Milwaukee today. That was good. Oakland is starting to distance themselves, and you know, I don't normally like to give out such a heavy favorite as a play, but plus 235, 245. But you challenged the game as a first read flyer. And so I really dug in and I looked for all I could to find a way to get on San Francisco in some capacity. And it would have worked to be on them for the first 5, but I just didn't see it. And it just looked to me in every angle that I was analyzing that no matter what was going on, Buehler was going to perform better and the Dodgers would provide enough run support regardless. And so when I checked in on that game and it was the 6th inning and the Dodgers are down 2-0, you're thinking, wow, that's a little bit problematic. But no, the Dodgers wound up getting 6 and quickly they were up 3-2. So their offense was there, and that's why they were the price they were, and the game played out that way, and we capped it that way, which brings us to 5-1 in our first read Flyers.
Yeah, that's a good number, 5-1. I'm happy with that. And
so
I mean, I'll challenge you. I just, I got to go with my gut and what game organically jumps out at me. And
always.
That's just what I have to do.
And that's why we're doing so well at it, because we connect on some level with that, and that pushes me into some sort of handicapping prowess. But we finished the week 14-6, even though today we were 4-3. I was 5-3 personally.
That Detroit game that you held out on us. I know that was
the Tiger game. The
Tiger game. Yeah, the Detroit game. That's what I said. What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you said the
Detroit game, and you say no, the Tiger game. Well,
there's the Tiger.
You got some new equipment that you're dealing with that I'm not hearing correctly. What do you got over there?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But 14-6 on the week, and most people think Sunday is the first day of the week, but when you're handicapping a full baseball season, you're in the grind of the daily up and down, just moving forward, evaluating all of the uh, machinations of the pitching staffs and travel and all that. Sunday should always be considered the final day of the week because it is the series wrap. It's very rare that a team will play a fourth game on a Monday, although sometimes it happens. But Monday usually is travel day or off day or begins the new series. And so we'll look at that in the first reads. But we start off a new week. And so when we wonder how many percentages we are in, I actually looked up that word today to just get a perspective of what percentage means. We all think we know, but really percentage means a portion of a whole, only a small, well, an amount such as an allowance. So I wanted to look at it that way. And so today I'm happy to report that we are 3 Sundays through 7 remaining Sundays. So we're 3 Sundays through 10 total Sundays, 7 remain. So we're 30% of the Sundays through the season.
So we're 2 months of Sundays away from the end of the season.
Exactly.
What does
So,
month of Sundays mean anyway? Because that's a saying, and that's why I said it.
I don't know.
We'd have to ask Dr. Berger about that. He would know.
Yes.
But he's not on the phone right now, is he?
No, we have no phone.
All right, so that's interesting. That's a really interesting way. 7 Sundays away, and I like the fact that baseball, even as old as it is, didn't try to rewrite the book. And when I'm talking about the Old Testament, because you said baseball ends at week on Sunday, but so did God.
Yeah.
The end of the week 5,000 years ago. Okay,
Right.
so I'm glad that they didn't try to rewrite the book on where the week should end.
So Marco, I got a new microphone. We're always trying to improve our production. We're getting new views, we're getting new subscribers, we're getting new VIPs each day. So we want to grow as a community, in the stick. So got a new microphone yesterday and got it working today. And so I want to show that microphone. Can you see that? Look at this beautiful. Look at this.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's a sweet looking microphone. And now you're going to sound like Kirk Gowdy, and I'm going to sound like the guy that worked, a double shift and was eating cream-filled donuts all day.
Well, the thing is, though, that with all the work I did, the practice with the microphone, the Zoom quality on these Macs that we have with the microphone is so good anyway that there really is no difference. So it just isn't any different. But look at this microphone.
Big giant thing, and there's just no difference.
No difference. But look at how professional it looks, and I've got it raised up. So really, I got this microphone not for the audio benefit, but for the physical appearance, so that it makes it look more professional, makes us look like we know exactly what we're doing, and makes it look cool. But the thing is, I keep a lot of notes and stuff in front of me just down here, and I reference them and I read them. So I need to keep the microphone right here, which is where it goes. So I got this microphone, and it doesn't do anything for the audio, but we got it for the visual because it looks professional, but I have to keep it off screen.
Well, that is a myriad of contradictions, but we got to see the microphone, so the mind's eye will do the job of that microphone. I'd rather you be looking at your notes than having to show off the beauty. And that is a beautiful microphone, but see, the mind's eye will do the work.
And the good news is, I got you one too. It's on the way. It'll arrive, and you can keep yours off screen as well.
Mine is off screen just like that.
Mine's
just do it once, and then and the mind's eye will do the work, just like how you machine the algorithms. That does the work. Let's also talk about some other things that are interesting. Can we talk a little bit about about that height thing, or is that
Yeah,
something?
I know. I talked.
'Cause I mean, I still, I mean, we talked off the recording and everything, and I just couldn't believe that. So
Yeah, and I just, uh, I talked to Dr. Doug, and I said, "What's the problem if I don't fix this? Do I have to address it?" He said, "You have to address it because doctors will prescribe you medications.
Dr. Doug has never been so sure, huh? That fast.
Yeah, you have to correct it." And so I can't just leave that sitting on my chart because it's not just one measurement. It looks like for the last 5 years, 2 times a year, the measurement is pretty much set in stone. So it looks like they've measured each and every time. So I thought, so I got myself a measuring tape.
All
And
right.
I thought live we would do a measurement.
Yeah, let's do it live.
All right. Okay. Let's do this. So I'm just going to step back. I'll adjust so you can. Whoa!
Okay.
I meant to move that direction so you can see. And I'm wearing my shoes, so maybe there's an inch.
Are you gonna wear your shoes?
I'm not going to take them off. So maybe we'll take off an
You're
inch.
not wearing your boots.
No. Okay. Can you see? Is this all right?
Everything's good, man. I'm just gonna let.
All right.
There you go.
All right. I have very, very long shins, Marco.
Yes. And just to let the audience know that since we're doing this live on tape, you won't have to get this notarized or authenticated. And you're doing it in the right form with the right tools.
Okay, can you see that? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's pretty much fair. It's
a fair measurement?
Yeah, I mean, we can only see your beard, but I think you're going a little bit past the beard, but there's some nuance involved.
Okay. All right. Let me just step down. Let me just step over. And 78 inches.
78 inches? My God.
What is that?
Well, I mean, wouldn't 72 inches would be 6 feet, so you're 6'8".
Yeah, Kobe.
No, you're 6'6", I'm sorry.
Exactly, 6'6", Kobe Bryant. I'm Kobe Bryant height.
Yeah, so that's amazing. I didn't know you were that tall, but I guess the Butcher Box is really doing its number.
Exactly.
No antibiotics, all free range. But what people don't know, and I did this one time when after we had dinner when we used to live close to each other, and you weren't so healthy, I gave you a bunch of gnocchi because I was very curious, and you passed out. He has a wingspan of 80 inches, actually. I've been asleep once.
Yeah. So I'm tall.
That is tall. I don't even know if we have time for the CC today, do we? Can I do a quick CC?
We do. We got plenty of time.
All right. So from Dr. Doug from DD and the CC, we were talking about, these numbers. I mean, I know it's a different show, but we're over 5 million COVID countrywide.
Yeah, that was big news today.
It was big news today. And so Dr. Doug was talking about, well, it's terrible, but we're not getting as many deaths. And I don't want to be morbid because we're having so much fun. And the reason is because a lot of young people they burn through it. Not all of them, but we all know that. Right. And the other reason is because the doctors, these great people on the front lines, they're amazing. And the nurses and the staff, they're learning on the fly, and they're not just dumping somebody right on a ventilator. They're doing stuff before they even get on a ventilator. And so they don't even have to get to the last recourse. And one of the things, I'm gonna have to put my glasses down, was that they learned to use a dexamethasone, I think it's called.
Yeah, dexamethasone.
Dexamethasone, which is a steroid. And I think that's great because, and I'll show you why that ties into the tourney, because let these fellas get juiced up again. Let them get back on the roids. We're playing Manfred baseball. I think Manfred should put a waiver. I think Barry Bonds should make a comeback. Let these guys get on the roids just for the tournament. Alias isn't keeping the stats. It's not a real season. They got automatic runners, 7-inning doubleheaders. Let the guys do the juice for the health. That's a quick COVID corner, and we can move on. I think.
Well, it's hard to dispute that. I just want to.
Want to dispute it?
No, I say it's indisputable.
Okay.
You can't dispute that. That in the best interest of humanity, these players should get back on the roids
Yeah.
because the anabolic dexamethasone clearly is
The tryptozone part's not legal, but the dexamethasone is legal. But don't put the trip in there because that's
yeah, no tripping. But
all
yeah,
right. So you totally agree with that. So
makes sense. Yeah,
I think we're right at the. We're going to go for your first read, so that
let's do it.
Just keep this streak going.
Love it. We will do some overnight work tonight, get our advanced work in as new series come to play. This is what I love about living and grinding through a Major League Baseball season.
Or tournament.
Tournament.
Prizes.
But I was saying, living through a Major League Baseball season, which also translates equivalent to a tournament. And that is Sunday night is a busy night for baseball. Teams are flying all across the country. People are getting home. Stuff is going on for everybody except the St. Louis COVIDs. And their games tomorrow have been postponed as well as into next week. I just, they're making the Miami team look like the pillar of health. So we began play tomorrow in the early evening on the East Coast. Atlanta and Philadelphia are still trying to figure out how to get games in. So they're staying where they are. They'll play a game tomorrow. Newcomb against Nola. Nola has underperformed where his talent is, and he's no Haney. He's a strong, healthy guy. Newcomb is the weak link at the Atlanta pitching staff. And so that's the final game of that series before Atlanta heads out of town. They'll head out of town tomorrow, and they will fly. They fly to New York, so they stay on the East Coast. Washington goes to New York to play the Mets. So the Mets are remaining at home, coming off their regrouping against Miami. And we got Corbin against Matz. It's a time for Matz to bring his ERA down a little bit. He's not going to finish with a 6 ERA, but he might finish with a 5. So maybe some runs in that game. The White Sox head out of town and meet up with the Tigers in Detroit. So Keuchel, who is now a crafty lefty, against Fulmer. Fulmer had a bad outing. So the White Sox at 8-7. Well, what happened in the end of that game tonight? It seems to have ended 5-4 Cleveland. So.
Oh, really? Yeah, Bieber was a little off today, huh?
I haven't checked it.
Okay, all right.
Let's look real quick at Bieber went 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. That pushed his ERA up to 1.63, but 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. So yeah.
To say a little off is a stretch. He did pretty well.
Right. So he got hit a little bit, but he did not get the win, but he kept this team in it. Tampa Bay, after they beat the Yankees today, so they picked up some wins. They're playing better. They head into Boston. Boston doesn't know who their pitcher is. Minnesota against Milwaukee.
Interesting game.
Right? Milwaukee feeling a little better, but they're inconsistent. That they can't get to 500. Minnesota just had, where's their focus? And they continue on the road from Kansas City to Milwaukee.
I like this Yelich heating up. Who's pitching in that game?
Our guy Dobnik against Hauser. So it's a really nice pitching matchup. Hauser has been really good, coming off his best outing of his career. 7 scoreless innings versus the White Sox, who at the time really weren't hitting.
Is that a regular 5 p.m. game Pacific time?
That's a 5 p.m. Pacific game.
All right.
That's the start. Arizona travels to Colorado. Colorado gets to go home. Ray against Gray, an interesting matchup. Colorado was really just trying to get out of town. They got their wins in Seattle, and they took it on the chin. Like, we were behind Marquez, but Marquez pitched well, just didn't get the support. And then wrapping up the evening the evening games on the Seattle and Texas, two teams that are
unpredictable to say the least, and
Yeah.
not very good.
done against Gibson. In Houston, San Francisco travels there, a 7-10 team against the 6-9 teams that, is Houston really down here with San Francisco, or is San Francisco going to be able to go on the road and start to match up against a team like Houston? It's an interesting question, but you can't even handicap the game because San Francisco doesn't even have a starting pitcher yet against McCullers, who has been bad.
That's a game to stay away from, in my opinion. But I know that if I say that, that's a challenge to you. But Houston's been, I don't know. They I guess I still have a bad taste in my mouth. I don't even really want to even think about that team too much. But I gotta. Can I give you the flyer right away?
No, we got 2 more games to go.
Okay.
That might
I just gave it away then, because you probably know who I'm gonna pick. Go ahead. I might change my mind.
Oh, you might. Oakland goes into LA. So can LA be the team that stops this Oakland run while LA's heading in the wrong the Angels are heading in the wrong direction?
You've been on them from the beginning. I'm sorry, but I want everybody to know.
12-4. The Angels are 5-11. Tehran goes, and he should have some legs under him. Minaya is going for Oakland, and the Angels have already hit Minaya pretty hard this year. So it's an interesting Game 1 matchup. San Diego goes to Los Angeles. San Diego at 9-7. Well, they clearly are better than a 500 ball club, but now a couple games against the Dodgers in LA may make them a 500 ball club. So Richards against May in that matchup. That's the late start at 6:40, and the Angels are at 6:42 as well. So that's the slate, short slate tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm glad you went through those other games, because I've always loved to see your eyes light up when you see Oakland, because I'm telling you, I mean, we've done 17 shows. I guess this will be our 17th show, maybe. 18th show. And you've been with Oakland saying they were going to walk away from the West since the beginning, and I wasn't even sure. But make a long story short, I got to go Dobnik, and I got to do that Milwaukee-Minnesota game. I'm very, very interested in that.
It really is. Is Minnesota about to – what's that?
That's the flyer.
Yeah. Is Minnesota about to spiral down against Milwaukee is spiraling up? We've got 2 teams kind of going like this with a very good pitching matchup. And since, when I handicapped Dobnik last, was just clear he was a good pitcher, but is he a savior? Is he that guy who's going to stop a 3-game losing streak? Is he that guy? Is he the stopper?
We'll see where your mind comes. We'll see what you do when you machine the algorithms, and I'm very interested in that game. It's not going to be an easy game for you to handicap. But I think we can pretty much wrap it up. We found out through percentages that not only do baseball weeks usually end on the 7th day of the week, Sunday, which is the normal ending of a week since biblical times, that there's 7 more Sundays coming. So this is exciting. So we're about 30% finished the tournament. 7 more Sundays, 7 full weeks of baseball before the playoffs. We also learned that I'm going to ask Michael to take a flyer on that Minnesota-Milwaukee game tomorrow. And we also learned that Michael not only has an 80-inch arm span, but he's 6'8" tall.
Kobe Bryant, 6'6". I won't play the extra 2 inches. That's what we're going with. Marco, should we let Nancy play us out again tonight?
I would love it.
Me too. So we'll see you tomorrow, my friend.
All right.
There are picks for guitars and picks for me that sometimes gets caught in your teeth. Picks for axes are gold mined tools, and picks are photos, sometimes nudes. But now there's baseball Cole, Andrizzi, and Marco too. Picks for sticks on YouTube.